Hello everybody, it's John Dunlop, aka Seafood Metalot. It's a beautiful day in September here, September 28th, and we're going to take silverware and we're going to turn it into flowers. And my plan is ultimately to come up with a silverware plant of, I don't know, 4 or 5 different flowers. So just to give you an idea of what we're going to do, we're going to make something like this. Try not to make all of them the same. I try to make them all different, and it's pretty amazing all the different arrangements you can come up with. Just weld it on, you know, we cut them with the whiz wheel and we weld them onto the rebar and use the handles as little petals or leaves, and we stand them on the rebar. So what I'd like to do is take 4 or 5 of these and attach them to a ring and glue it down into a pot and make a sturdy plant. Okay, so let's get started and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, we're going to start by just attaching these 2 handles. I don't even know if they were from spoons or forks or what, but I just found them laying around. I have a few excess handles. So I want to make something a little different rather than the 2 spoons cupped together or whatever. So this is just going to be the very center. So I'm just going to attach these 2 together. I'm going to leave them longer than I need them to be for now, and we'll adjust them as we go along. So my plan is to start with these, put 2 spoons curving outward, and then from there we'll work into adding all of that silverware in the background. Alright? Okay, we have here our spoon handles or fork handles, whatever they were, and I welded them together. As you can see, I tacked them on each side, and from here I'm gonna go into adding something like that, one on each side, and that'll be the center of our plant, for our flower, and then from there we're going to get into these spoons. Okay, so we added those 2 forks on the outside, and as you can see, our flower is beginning to blossom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the handles off of these spoons, the smaller ones, and actually these here, and I'm going to have 6 of them, and I'm going to cut them and arrange them in a circle and weld them together. Yeah, you know, I'll show you that. Okay, there you see the spoons cut. I think I'm going to weld these to a washer just to help space it out. One thing when you're laying these out to just check yourself is to make sure each petal is straight across from the other petal. Make sure all your negative spaces are even. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get it as close as you can. Also, if you notice, I have a stack of washers in the middle because I want them to be cupped up. I don't want it to be flat. You know what I mean? I want to see it cupped, not flat. So now I'm gonna, this is the tricky part because you have to hold the ground clamp and weld it at the same time. So I'm going to show you that. Alright, so this is what we have so far. That thing's still hot. This is the first time I actually welded a washer into the middle. Usually I leave the stem on the spoon a little bit longer so it reaches, but I wanted to keep this flower very close together so when I do the next spoons they come around the outer perimeter. So when I did cut it so short, there was no way I was going to get them all to meet in the middle. So the washer seemed like a good idea. So now we have our middle piece that we made earlier, and we're going to just slip it in and weld it from the back. I might grind it a little bit so it sits a little deeper, a little snugger, but basically you have the idea. After we do that, then we're going to make the next ring of spoons. Okay, so we're all set to tack the petals onto the flower. As you can see, I just put that in the vise and slip that over the top, make sure it's straight. Got my ground clamp on the vise, and I'm just gonna weld it right around here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now you see what we have so far. This is all one piece. It's hot, but it's one piece. It's beginning to look like a flower. Now I'm gonna cut these spoons, and I'm probably gonna cut them more about here, because I want the perimeter of these spoons to be larger than that, so they kind of stick out from the back. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut the spoons and I'll show you. Okay, there you see it. Pretty simple process. Now we have a flower. So what I'm going to do now is put this in the vise and put this right over the top, and then we'll just weld it up from the back. Alright, so this is where we're at. We're pretty much finished with our flower. I added the handles. Most of it is like spontaneous. Once you get going, you just kind of get like a little fire going and you just keep adding. Now you see I cut the back off, grinded it down flush. Now we're going to get a piece of rebar and attach it. We're going to bend it and attach it. And there you have it. That's a flower made from silverware. I have a lot of fun making these. They all come out a little different. In my next video, we're going to take several of these flowers and we're going to turn it into a plant and bring it to a local art show and see what happens. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, and as always, your feedback is more than welcome. Thank you.